So here's the thing. So many people have a bunch of questions about what to pack for outreach, so it can be pretty overwhelming to have to know exactly what to pack. There's a ton of stuff that you have to pack. We're gonna give you just the right amount of packing. First of all, I guess we can talk about the bag. The thing is, most people overpack and you probably won't even use everything that you pack. The typical size for a backpack is probably going to be about 3,500 to 5,000 cubic inches in a backpack for you imperial American people who need that. But for everybody else, that's about 55 to 80 liters. That's probably about the sweet spot, or else you're going to be paying a ton of money for a heavier carry-on. So that gets the bag taken care of. Let's talk about the sleeping bag.
So for a sleeping pad and sleeping bag, you want something that's lightweight that you can carry around the whole time that you're on outreach.
Let's go.
You want something that can compress down and take up as little space as possible, and we especially don't recommend bringing a full-size pillow.
Yeah, those pillows can take up a lot of space, and they typically get dirty depending on where you go. Obviously, some people might have neck and back pain, but if you don't fall into that category, then it's probably a good idea to leave that pillow at home. Some places that you stay at might even provide pillows, and some people even use like rolled up sweatshirts and stuff for pillows to save space. A sleeping pad is definitely something that you're probably going to want to consider investing in, because you're probably going to be sleeping on the ground for most outreaches. So you can either get one online that's inflatable. The one that you're going to see right here is inflatable. There's some sleeping pads that you can get that aren't inflatable. However, those are probably going to be a lot more difficult to compress down and take up less space. With sleeping bags, it's pretty much a universal thing. If you have a sleeping bag and it doesn't take up that much space, you're going to be fine. Sleeping pad, sleeping bag, boom.
Boom.
So now we're going to talk about clothes. Clothes. You do want to bring some nice clothes to be presentable. Bring some clothes that you would wear to church. The Middle East, for example, is very traditional in their church services, and so it's definitely a good idea to be mindful of that. You definitely don't want to be seen in shorts or a t-shirt while you're going to church. A button-up and some non-jeans or khakis are probably something that you're definitely going to want to bring. I didn't have any khakis for this video, so here's a pair of pants that aren't jeans. They're gray. I guess they're jeans. They're just not... yeah. Bring some khakis. Don't bring these. One common mistake is bringing all your junky clothes. It's definitely a good idea to bring clothes that you're going to get dirty in, as well as some work shoes, but sometimes in YWAM we are asked to go preach at certain churches, and there's nothing worse than being asked to preach and all you're wearing is a t-shirt and some little khaki shorts. Shoes! Here come the shoes. The shoes are walking in. Comfortable shoes to walk in is definitely a necessity, because you're probably going to be walking a lot for your primary transportation. One presentable pair of shoes is definitely required for some churches or formal events. You're also going to want to bring a pair of shoes to go on a hike in or do some work, so that would definitely mean boots. 3 pairs of shoes is probably going to be your maximum amount of shoes that you're going to want to bring.
Okay, most people overpack on outreach, but then they regret how much they brought. You want to pack lighter than you think you'll need, because in the worst case scenario, you can buy clothes on the outreach.
Yeah, there's actually clothing stores where you're gonna go. It's not just an American thing. So you can buy clothes in the outreach location, on location, and then you'll have clothes. And then you can even donate the clothes before you leave to come back home. What an idea.
Donation.
Seriously, like that is probably the best idea I've ever thought of in my life.
Make sure you are aware of the climate that you're going to.
Yeah.
Remember, the opposite hemisphere has the opposite season, and cold weather clothes take up more space.
Just be mindful of the things that you're going to be doing on outreach. You're going to be doing a lot of things outside. So if you're going into a place whose climate is very rainy and prone to precipitation, you're probably going to want to... Yeah, that was a long word. What? Precipitation. You're probably going to want to bring some kind of rain jacket or poncho, or a small umbrella, but a poncho is probably more ideal because umbrellas can be broken easily and then you're stuck just without an umbrella and you're getting soaked all the time. Some outreach locations don't even have dryers or washers. So you might even see yourself in the future washing your clothes in the sink. Pro tip, it is a great idea to bring some twine and some clothespins so that you can dry your clothes at your outreach location instead of having to find a dryer. For cold weather, you're definitely going to want to bring layers. You're not going to have enough room to pack a giant parka. Also, bring gloves and a beanie and a scarf, etc. Just layers, layers, layers.
How much stuff to bring? Most outreach teams typically do laundry once a week, so you want to bring about 7 days worth of clothes. Sometimes it's nice to have a little bit more, but be wise about how heavy your bag is.
Let's go.
Money!
Money. So most YWAM expenses are covered, and that includes food and transport. So technically, you would be okay if you didn't bring any money. You don't need to exchange your money before you go. Definitely don't exchange your money at an airport. Airports will jip you off. Go find an ATM and withdraw the amount of money that you need, and it will give you the amount that you need in the indigenous money currency. Here's a shot of a first aid kit. Buy one of these. They're important. Here's another shot of an outlet converter. If you have anything you want to charge, you probably won't be able to charge them in a different country unless you get one of these.
Toiletries!
Toiletries are pretty typical. You can just pack something that's lightweight and small, travel size things, deodorant, soap, toothbrushes. You can probably get some of this stuff on Outreach, but it's small, it doesn't take up that much space. What are you gonna do? Yes, jewelry. Try to keep expensive jewelry and accessories at home. Cameras, laptops, rings, necklaces. Unfortunately, some places are more prone to thievery than others. Obviously, bring your phone, but be mindful of where you're pulling it out. iPhones are the number one thing that are stolen on Outreach.
Often when you're in a crowded place, aka public transport, etc., keep your wallet out of your back pocket and put it in one of your front pockets. Also, don't put things in your backpack side pockets because the thieves will come and steal.
The thieves will thief.
The thieves will thief you.
And anything else you want to bring. If there's anything that you feel like you're absolutely going to need and are willing to sacrifice the extra space and the extra weight, then go for it. I mean, I'm not holding you back. Nobody's holding you back. You can bring whatever you want. In conclusion, we hope that this has helped you gain knowledge about what to expect as far as packing for Outreach. Don't be overwhelmed by the many things that you're going to need to pack for Outreach. It's really not that big of a deal. Just remember, lighter is better. You don't want to be lugging around a bunch of weight. Anything to say?
Stay away from thieves.